So not an economical way of heating, but that's the way it is these days. They want you heating with gas or water or solar or whatever you are heating your home with. So welcome everyone tonight. Tonight we've got on Alister McDonald. Welcome, Alister.
Hello.
Yay.
Business coach extraordinaire. And tonight he is talking about his COVID-19 routine. It's just a trendy name for it, but what it really means is it's all about setting routines in your business and your life, and how you can break this down into all sorts of parts of your life. And Alister actually has a 12-part series about this on YouTube, so check it out on his YouTube channel. Proudly brought to you by Nurture Cream Videos.
Thanks,
So, Al, what would you like to share with us tonight?
Well, so I just wanted to start slightly off that topic and just check in with everybody. Like, so for anyone that's watching, the four of us are all based in Melbourne, and we are now in, what are we? We are 48 hours away-ish from the next big lockdown in Melbourne. So it's July 20, couple of days, we have to now wear masks everywhere outside our homes. And there's a whole lot of other new rules to constrain our social behaviors to really enforce the distancing. So it's another new chapter in this wild ride. So I just wanted to check in with each of you and just sort of see where you're at right now with all that. Annie, how about you start? Where are you at with all that?
I'll just try and
get she's muted.
She's muted, but I haven't got
Good girl.
I thought
there we are.
Myself before. I think it's probably best that I don't comment because I'm not in agreement. So I've got my own perspectives, and I do not like to get into debates with people. Everybody has their own ideas. I just choose not to live in fear.
Great.
I just choose to live my life today. I actually spoken to people that when the last lockdown happened, and I asked them, they were so fearful. I got a lot of phone calls from very scared people. And I said, so what are you afraid of? And they said, of dying. And I asked them, why? And they said, because I have so much stuff that I want to do. And I said, so how about you start today? Tell your family you love them. Spend the time with the kids. Don't worry about their studies, because even if they don't pass this year, they'll pass next year. You know what I mean? This is an opportunity to spend time with them and reconnect with your kids and with your partner and with family members, whichever way you can. So I don't want to live in fear, because to me it's like if I'm meant to go, I can literally trip over my own feet, fall down, smash my head in a corner of my wall, and I'm gone. So if I'm meant to go, I will go. So that's just my perspective, and I'm pretty passionate about it. And to me, there's nothing social about social distancing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. A bit like social media.
Yeah.
Social distancing, not very social. Get it?
Yeah, pretty much. So, but each to its own. I do believe that at the end of all of this, there's going to be something good that comes out, whatever that is. So everything, I believe in life, in business, in relationships, in everything, first it goes down before it goes up. Stock exchange, property market. So what goes down must come up at some point. So just have faith. That's
fantastic.
David, what do you feel like saying?
Thanks, Annie, for a person that doesn't want to share the perspective. That was very good sharing. What do I want to say? I am also not coming from the concept of fear. I'm very mindful of my clients being scared, and so the way that we're approaching it is to go above and beyond the level of care that we're giving to our clients. And so we've gone to the nth degree now, where we're doubling up on the service. doubling up by handing them a mask when they walk in the door. They don't need to bring one. We're going to give it to them, giving them their own bottles of sanitizer and things like that to take home. So they're like gifts. I'm giving them a gift with purchase before they've even purchased. So we're going the other way. So a lot of people are going quiet. We're going loud, because I'll let people know that that's what's happening and that's what they're going to be getting as well. So I'm excited by all the stuff that's going on, believe it or not. I think it's great. I think it's a really interesting opportunity for us to reconnect, to reset, to look at our values and what's important to us, whether it be family, whether it be in business, whether it be in all those aspects. So for me, it's a time of change, and emphasis is short for metamorphosis, as I've always said, and I love that. So yeah, I'm excited by the prospects, and that's what I feel like saying. What about you, Gary? What do you feel like saying?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Boom. Thanks, David.
You're welcome, Jerry.
I, for one, I've kind of loved this sort of lockdown time, just spending more time with family, even though I'm like, oh, it's so lovely. We keep building new doors and rooms in the house because we're trying to keep everyone quiet now. It's too loud. But yeah, have enjoyed this time. And I did reflect recently in a webinar that I gave that, which inventor was it now? The guy that had the Apple, Newton. When Newton discovered all that stuff, gravity, calculus, everything, it was on his year of being stuck in his country house because of some plague that went through England. And he called it in Latin, his magnificent year or something like that. And that was when all this innovation came out. And, they've shown time and time again that so much innovation or new change and everything like that has come after times of upset, or after war, or after depression and things like that. And so many opportunities have come out of that I'm actually excited to find out what's going to happen and what this new normal is all about and what we're going to experience. The social distancing itself hasn't really bothered me so much. I, like everyone else, enjoyed going out to dinner a few times in the few weeks that we kind of had a break. But other than that, I'm pretty lucky. I've been able to continue my life pretty much almost the same. But having said that, like with the topic of tonight of routine, I've realized how important it is to actually create your routine in these times, because otherwise the days and the weeks just fly by, and all of a sudden you don't know if you've achieved anything, or do I need to achieve anything? So that's where I'm at.
Thank you, Jerry. Harsha, aka Hab, would you like to, just looking at, you're in Canberra, not in Melbourne, so different circumstances right now. We're just checking in, seeing how everyone is, where everyone's at with the current stage of COVID management.
Right, and specifically about routine, or just in general?
This is just to check in, just to see where everyone's at.
Oh, look, I think everyone wants it to be over. I can sense that, but I think it's just something that's not going to be over for quite a while. So it's more about getting used to wearing face masks, if that's what needs to be done on a practical level. It might look funny. I particularly don't want to wear a face mask, but if that's what it takes to go into a workplace or a supermarket, there might be I was even thinking in the shower, there might be a whole range of new accessories with face masks, like cowboy face masks and you know, all kinds of stuff that could come out of this. So it's trying to see the positive side of it, I think. And there probably is one, but there's a lot of people suffering in the world as well. So, yeah. So about routine, I don't know about routine. I've always tried to, you know, exercise at this time and do my meditation at this time. It lasts a week, and then I think we just got to be flexible. Just have a few things that we want to get done in the day as our base, and when it happens, it happens. So if it's exercise or meditation, and if you want to get a video done or whatever it is, and then get it done, and then be happy with the day. That's my version of routine.
Fantastic. Thank you, Harsha.
Thank you.
So look, I echo much of what has been said by the others, and yeah, I'm caught in this. I mean, look, people live and die every day, and I do not want to write off even one person that has died as a result of this pandemic. However, I'm seeing the people around me being more connected again, spending more time at home, spending more time on themselves, and I'm seeing nothing but opportunity coming out of it now.
Alister, can you talk up a little?
Yeah, maybe I'll play with my mic if I'm coming through a little quiet. It's unusual for me to come through quietly.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh yeah, the input volume's turned right down. Let's try putting that up a bit. Okay, how's that now? Is that better?
Yep,
Okay.
all good.
Thank you. So, yeah. So I'm not talking about profiteering here. I am talking about, though, this is like a big reset of so much of what we do and so much of how we live. I see opportunity, and that's the way I'm looking at it. I've been far more productive the last few months than for a long time. So, you know, I'm grateful for what comes of it for me, and I am truly sorry for those that have a loss or a sense of loss out of it. Okay, thanks, guys. Well, let's jump into a conversation about routine. So, if any of you watched the little video that Jerry provided to just talk about what we're talking about tonight, I acknowledged in that video that I'm one of those people that equates the word routine with jail sentence or prison cell, or I did do that. Many out there see it the other way. They see it as a necessary framework to live life effectively. And I'm not sure that I'm all the way there yet. However, I'm really starting to see the benefits of a routine. So let's jump into a conversation here. Now, guys, you're welcome to stay muted and unmute if you want, or unmute yourselves and just have a free-flowing conversation. You know, I'm not going to sit here and lecture and put up lots of pages. This is a conversation. So who'd like to start with an idea of what routine is or what it means?
Well, to me, good evening, Lucia. To me, routine is about just actually doing the same thing, maybe at the same time, actually having a plan when you're going to do it. You know, when you say you're going to do it, you do it. You diarise things. So that's kind of what a routine is to me.
Thank you, Jerry. Who'd like to go next? Annie?
The only routine that I have is working out in the morning
Okay.
and doing my miracle morning. So and everything after that, not much of a routine.
Okay, fantastic. David, Harsha?
I like the way you described your initial concept of a routine being like a jail sentence. You and I both, well, I actually had my little child come up last night in a situation where I had to be more structured, and I'm creating structure and my structure and routine, and knowing the benefits thereof. But my little child was going fucking off, and really rebelling. And so much so that I had to apologize to the person that was helping me. Afterwards, I sent a message saying, I'm really sorry. So for me, routine is, for some, I've got it wired in my head that it takes away spontaneity. However, knowing the structure that can come from having regular routine. Now I go to work every day and I know that I open up the shop when I do, and I'll go and walk the dogs when I do. And so I've got routines, but having it in, what's the word? In stone is sometimes quite difficult for me. But I'm getting better.
Thank you.
I'm recovering.
Good job.
So that's for me. What about, there's Lucia. I haven't seen her for a few weeks. Hello.
I gather the topic is routine. Yeah?
It is. And we're just exploring what it is for each of us. What is a routine? What's the definition? What does it mean?
Well, for me, it's structure. Yeah, it's about like what are the absolute priorities, like things that have to be done, and that they. Yeah, for me, it's different things. I mean, I don't know if you. Are we going into what our routine is, or?
Not yet. We will though later on.
Okay, yeah. So routine is structure, and it is the absolute must. There's no. It's like the dirty nappy option. There is no option. They have to be done. Like that's, like you wouldn't not change a baby's nappy.
Got it.
Right. It's like even if you don't like it, you got to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. You got anything, Harsha?
I was just responding to Lucia's comment about would you not change a baby's nappy? Yeah. I won't go there.
Don't tell me that you did, like you left a baby.
Are we live somewhere? Oh.
All over Facebook. So there's 3 billion people watching right now.
Okay, I've never done that. Actually.
You better start sharing, Harsha, so we can actually get to 1,000 people.
The dirty nappy.
What I was going to say was my version of routine, I think I already mentioned it before, was 4 or 5 things I need to get done during the day. But if I assign a time to it, it just gets me all stressed. I won't end up doing it. But if I just go, I've got to hit these things, and that's a great day. If I hit 3 of those, awesome. So it's a bit flexible.
3 out of 7.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 is a good day.
It's a good day. Well, no, it's an okay day. If I hit 5 out of 5, I'm like, hey, yeah, awesome. 4 out of 5, yeah, can't complain.
3 out of 5, yeah.
Okay, great, thanks. Well, look, I'm wired a little bit logically, so I looked at what's a dictionary definition, and one that I found is this simple, right? So a routine is a sequence of actions regularly followed. Yeah, and I would suggest strongly that we're all in a routine most of the time. We just, and it's for you and me, David, because it's a dirty word, we won't call it that. However, I'd argue that there's a thing called a habit, which is really another version of the same thing, right? So habits are things that we automatically do without conscious thought. However, when you think about it, they are routine. And, a great example, which is often used in personal development, is, showering. Like when you're in the shower, do you concentrate on everything you're doing? Like, do you focus on every step, or is it just kind of something that happens automatically? So for most of us, it's just something that happens automatically. And so really it is a routine, right? It's just, we're not calling it a routine, we're calling it a habit. So to me, this gives us a little bit of an access to how routine can become more powerful for us and less of a prison cell. So really, if we look at a habit as something we automatically do, it's something we've developed over time as a regular practice. Really, the only difference with a routine is that it's something that we consciously plan, and then we build our routine, and then we action that routine. And we've got some chat here, so I'll just check on that. The dirty nappy theory, yeah. Sequence of actions regularly and delivered every day. Thanks, Annie. So absolutely, daily routine is often what we think about when we think about routine. However, I'm in business, so we also have monthly routines with finances, quarterly routines, annual routines, and other routines for different purposes. You know, if you're paying staff, payroll might be weekly, fortnightly. So there's so many layers that can come up with this. And, you know, a bit like changing the nappy, not paying your staff is even worse in the business world. So another kind of longer definition, if you like, which I really liked and I really felt summed up the picture powerfully, is that a routine is a customary or regular course of procedure, commonplace tasks, chores or duties as must be done regularly or at specified intervals. And so, hence the nappy again. Typical or everyday activity. Thanks, Annie. The routine of an office is a great example. Or regular, unvarying, habitual, unimaginative, or rote procedure. That's where that prison cell comes in, right, David? So I thought about when I looked at that definition and got over that initial distaste, I started to look at, okay, well, where does routine fit in performance? Because underlying this conversation really is we want to perform in a way that we're not performing now. Yeah. So the idea of routine is to vary our performance and ultimately to improve our performance, right? So a couple of routines that I thought about that are great examples, like, well, first, before I go to my examples, what examples come up for you guys of routines that we know support performance? Just blurt them out.
Do you mean like in the sporting world?
Right?
Yeah.
Sportsperson's routine. Yep. Fantastic.
Customer service routine.
Customer service routine. Excellent.
Return calls routine.
Okay. Returning calls routine. Right. Great. Thank you.
Or, family contact routine.
Family contact routine. Great. And I mean, look, couldn't we go on?
Eating and cooking kind of routine.
Yeah, absolutely. Whose grandparents, like during their lifetime, would have similar meals at the same time every day. Like that's, you know, I remember staying with my granddad and it was like, you know, he did his eggs and bacon in the microwave in a certain way every day at the same time, you know, a beer at the same time. It was like rote, you know, and he was happy as Larry, that guy.
I'm sorry, did you say bacon and eggs in the microwave?
Weird. It was really weird, but you know, it worked. It actually worked. I learned about technology from my granddad. I was really impressed. So another one that came up for me, and I think this is a really telling one actually. When I looked at this, I thought, okay, this gives me this bridge from prison cell to performance in an exciting way, right? And that's a dance routine. So, and you could probably add a muso's routine, very similar. But the dance routine's the ultimate, I reckon, because for them to perform it, it's got to be, they're going to nail it, right? They have got to know where to put their body, their feet, their hands, their everything at every moment, like without any thought whatsoever, right? So for them, it becomes the most, I guess, the most kind of boring routine, the most boring practice we can imagine. And how many times do they practice? Like, how many times are the best of the best practice? Probably thousands, right? Now, what they deliver as a result, like how inspirational is it? How much does it turn us on? You're muted, Lucia.
Yeah, but what they're doing is that they're delivering it like they're delivering it for the first time, though.
Exactly.
They're not actually, oh boy, here I go again, you know, here's another. No, they're actually presenting it like this is the very first time. And yeah, so it's context. It's like what's going on in their mind as they're delivering it. It's not on rote, you know, it's not.
Absolutely. To get there though, to get to that, and remember Torval and Dean, ice skaters, right? We all grew up with Torval and Dean. You know, they were the honeys of that because again, their routines were just, I don't know, they were another level. And totally agree with you, Lucia. It's like they're not bored. However, they have to get to that stage where it's not conscious anymore. It's all programmed in, right? And it's that each time they deliver it, there's a connection with an audience, a different energy, different everything. And that's where for them, there's a newness, you know? However, again, the point is, for me, the point was the routine underpins. It's the fundamental of a memorable performance, of something, a cut above. Does that make sense? And the other one I thought of, because I'm an old techo, was a computer routine. And I actually feel like that's the one that really helps me see how transform it from, it's this thing I don't really want to do. It's this thing I don't want to impose on myself to, no. There's things that just need to happen. And when they're just programmed in to happen and they just happen, then, and I think you touched on it, David, then I'm kind of liberated, because now I've got these things nailed. Now I'm liberated with the rest of my time, with the rest of my thought, to do whatever I want to do, to live my day, live my life, however I want to live my life. So for me, there was that transformation, real transformation from, I don't want to learn better cooking habits or better eating habits, or that's been a big one for me. I've never been a cook, never wanted to be a cook. So actually going down that path has been a challenge for me, but working with a specialist, dietitian, and just slowly, step by step, building new things into the routine, having new things in the fridge and the cupboard. In fact, having some food in the fridge and the cupboard. It's helped me start to build a real routine. I'm diarising it. I have a routine around my food, and you know what? I'm not consciously measuring my weight and waistline and all that all the time. But when I'm checking in with a doctor, it's all improving. So bingo, some routine, the results I want. Before that, it was a lot of talk, a lot of thought, a lot of hope, a lot of whatever, and no results, or going backwards, right? So look, at that point, I've sort of gone into the next stage. Anyone got anything to add or bring up at this point?
Keep going, I'm loving it.
David, you're unmuted, or you're good?
I'm good. I'm actually trying to get my speaker working while listening at the same time.
Okay, good man.
I'm not routined enough to be able to know that this should have been done in the beginning. Okay. However, the structure is not working for me, so I'm just going to struggle along and listen.
Okay, yeah. I feel like I'm yelling, but hopefully that's working. And you kind of prompted me with another thought I had. We've been doing these webinars on a Monday night at this time for how long now, Jerry?
I don't know, maybe since late last year.
Right. It's been a while. And I must admit now, it is a regular part of my life. It's part of my routine.
Yeah.
And there was a time where, like I was part of creating it, there was a time where I was resisting being committed to it because of that crazy sort of feeling in my head, or thought in my head. But as I just turned up and was interacting with people and learning from people and sharing with people, and again, accepting it as a valuable part of my life, like it's actually transformed into something that I look forward to. And I look forward to it more listening to other people than speaking, no doubt about it. However, I enjoy sharing when I can share, no doubt about that. So, okay, great. Thanks, everybody. So then, the next obvious sort of question after what is why? Why is a routine important? So do we feel we've sort of touched on that enough, or does anyone want to add anything at this point?
I think it takes some of the thinking processes away, doesn't it? And
yeah.
I think the first time I heard, I think I was at a retreat once, and they were explaining why monks have a routine. They get up at this time, they have breakfast at 11 or lunch at 11, and then their whole day is planned. So even the clothes that they wear are the same thing every day. So you don't have to think about which outfit you're going to wear. You just like grab the next one, that's being washed. So
yeah, great. And Steve Jobs is famous for that, isn't he? He had he was famous for having the same wardrobe, so he didn't have to think about what he's going to put on every day, right? And whether we like just Steve Jobs or not, one of the highest performers in his field, and he he stated it. I've done that because I don't want to waste productive energy on what I'm going to wear that day. So I'm Virgoan. I don't have to worry. I go to the left of my wardrobe, pull it out, put it on, and then when I wash it, it goes in the right of the wardrobe. So it just it all works. I don't have to think about it. So I could have taught him something, but too late now. Okay, so why?
It's for when you make your videos, Al, you've got a routine.
True.
You wear the same outfit.
Great point. And so when we want to create a brand, when we want our message to become consistent, when we want people to sort of become familiar with us and comfortable with us, routine can really support that. Absolutely, Jerry. Did you want to say something, Annie?
Yeah, I like that thing. You said you take it out of the left and put it back in the right. I'm going, oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
I think women could learn from that.
It's awesome.
But with us girls, we put on the first outfit and we go, not sure. And you put on another 20 and then you go back to the first one. You go, yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. You look at that first one, you go, no, it's not a pink day. It's a purple day.
But you know what? Like, that's a routine too. And I'm guessing you get some pleasure out of that whole experience. I'm guessing so.
So, Alister, I'm a little bit like you. I have a little system that there are some tops that I'll wear twice before I wash them. So the system is that when you've worn it once, you put it back on the hanger, but inside out, so that you know that so my colour wardrobe is coded. Everything's everything.
She does that.
Awesome.
Is that why I often see you with the tags on the outside, Lucia?
Oh, you're funny.
Inside secrets, guys. So if it's been worn once already, I put it back on the hanger, but inside out, and then I know that the next time I wear it is the second time, and then it's got to go into the...
I love it.
Yeah. Where did you learn that one?
I love that.
Hi, Bridget.
Hello. I made that myself.
You made it up yourself.
That is so cool.
Lucia, COVID-19 routine, 20 wears, man, before it needs to be washed.
So that's why she's not online, but she's here, she's listening.
Okay.
Great to have you here.
The other thing too, I was going to say, Alister, about the structure. For me, the structure means that I actually, it's something that supports what I want to achieve. Like it's without structure.
Yep.
Like if I'm left to how I feel for the day, things wouldn't get done.
Yep.
Whereas there is a structure, there is route, there is things that have to be done.
Yep.
Then things grow and things move forward. Whereas if I go, oh, you know what, like it's really grey out there, like left to my own devices, if I just was affected by everything outside of me, I wouldn't achieve what I achieve. So I like it every now and again, I fall in. But yeah, I prefer to have structure. Yeah.
It's great to have.
When do you eat ice cream?
I don't eat ice cream. My ice cream is when I eat. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah.
That's the way. So what you prompted for me there, for Lucia, is just that. I just had this picture. I don't know what brought it up, but it's like if we've got plants that need regular watering, if we don't regularly water them, they die like that. And nature is always such a great canvas for us to observe and learn. And so if the things that nature provides don't survive without routine or cycles, in nature we call it cycles, then that really tells us something about how critical they can be to performance. Yeah. Annie, do you want to add something?
How did you know? I was thinking something, but I was trying to figure out whether this is the right place to say it. But in this day and age, I'm not sure about you, whether you guys agree with this, but I feel that we've become a society that constantly has to put out results, constantly has to do 24/7.
Right.
And if you actually kick back, your brain is going, I should be doing that. I should be doing that. So we have amazing opportunities on one hand, you know, that come our way. We want to experience absolutely everything. And then we put so much stuff into our world that we actually don't have a routine, because we're doing this, we're doing that, we never finish anything. So it's like, so I'm not speaking for you guys, but I know that there's other people like me who a little bit all over the place. So now it's a matter, so it started with just doing my miracle morning every single morning. And the days when I don't do it, I beat myself up, because I know what it does for me in the morning. And so I was actually working out in a gym here in Melbourne, because I stopped training with Mac. I trained with Mac for 5 years, 5 days a week, and then I stopped. And one day I woke up and I said, I had such a routine when I was working out with him, and my whole day was actually built around that.
Yep.
And what that did is actually made me healthy. I ate well, I slept well, I had energy. I was like seriously, I was in the best shape of my life, other than, when you're young, you have more energy and stuff like that when you're in your 20s. But I tell you, for somebody who was in her 40s and 50s, I felt amazing. And then I stopped.
Yep.
And I worked out, but the mindset that for some reason I was having there was driving me. And since I started working out with him 2 weeks ago, there's a lot of other stuff that is happening and I'm starting to do.
Yeah.
I'm just going, how interesting is that? So it's going to become my routine. So now I have two. I've got the Miracle Morning and I have Mac.
Awesome.
It's just slowly building upon it.
Awesome.
And then a couple of weeks ago, when we were still allowed to go somewhere, I went away with David and his beautiful wife. We went away for the weekend, and I almost didn't go because I thought, no, I have the weekend. I can do this and I can do that. And I said, no, let's just go away. And I had this epiphany that, Jesus, all I'm doing is working and working. How about just resting my mind? And then when I was there with them, they were completely chilled out. And I really struggled with chilling. And I made a decision that I was watching their energy was so light and lovely. And I went, okay, I want to feel like this. So from now on, from Saturday 2:00, because I have some coaching in the morning, all the way to Sunday night, it's just me, fun, do whatever comes my way. And if I watch Netflix for 10 hours, then that's what I do.
Beautiful.
But that's a new routine. So starting to get some balance into life. And I think routines, I don't know if anybody does 100%, but just having a couple of things, I think they're great. So
we're all different, aren't we, Annie? And I have no doubt that on this planet, there are people that are 100% routine focused and, good for them. And, there's so much in what you said, and we don't have time to address it all. I want to acknowledge what you said, though, and there's a lot of what you said that I resonate with. And, the big one for me is I've had people, that I've been coaching who've come to me and said, I've realized that I've got to hustle. I'm just not hustling enough. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, high performers, they hustle. Like, they just go hard. And, and I'm like, well, some do for sure, but not all. And hustle itself means nothing and results in nothing other than maybe burnout or whatever. So, just latching onto, I've got to hustle itself has no value. Just saying, I've read that works for that guy and I've got to do it. Well, no. And I reckon you nailed what I have found works, and that is layer upon layer. We build our routine. And the word structure has come up a number of times. Beautiful word. We have this structure that underpins everything we do. It underpins our day. It underpins our cycles, and it keeps us at a level of performance that's sustainable. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. It's really interesting, though. What does hustle mean?
Exactly.
Right. So it's another thing that I learned a while ago from one of our coaches, Jane Johnson, and she asked me, she said, what does that word mean to you? Like, whatever word the word was. And I go, I never really thought about what a word means to me. And then Then I told her what I thought it meant. And then she said, okay, so let's read the definition. And it was completely different. And I just went, oh my God, I have been living my life believing that it's this, and no wonder things are not working. As soon as I realized what the real definition was, I just went, oh wow. So since then, like the dictionary and the thesaurus are like my best friends. I'm forever looking up words.
Brilliant.
To be sure, like the English, right? To be sure.
Well, it's, language is powerful, and many of us believe that our words create everything in our life. So I love that. Love it. So I'll quickly go into what I discovered when I just looked at, some ideas on the net about why a routine is important, just to sort of bring it together. So one thing I found was this, very, very brief. Having a routine can help us to cultivate positive daily habits and to prioritize self-care. And I really want to emphasize self-care, because to me, that is the beginning of everything else. Without that, nothing else is possible. Organizing our time gives us the opportunity to build in blocks of time for things that are important to us, Annie. And that might be Netflix. That might be half a day in bed under the doona. It might be whatever works for us. This can allow us to build in daily habits that help us with our mental health. Now, I would add physical health, psychological health, emotional health, whatever health we want to choose. And so, again, there's a lot of parallels in what you said. So bang on for timing.
Well, can you read the first statement again? The very first one.
Having a routine can help us to cultivate positive daily habits and to prioritize self-care.
Okay. So on that, right, I don't know if anybody here has experienced that, but I sure have. The word guilt.
Yep.
And when we know we have to do things, and I say we, because I know there's other people out there that have experienced this. So I say I know I have to do something, and then I procrastinate for whatever that reason is.
Yep.
And then I feel so guilty because I know that if I do it, I'm going to have a result, a good result, and I'm going to have a fulfillment and self-pride, and I don't do it. So then I feel really, really guilty. It's almost like I committed something illegal, and it is illegal towards me.
Right.
So then the whole thing there is why?
Right.
Why do I procrastinate? So that's the constant work. Why am I doing that?
Okay.
Because I'm capable of delivering what I need to deliver, but why don't I? So that's like this constant, as you said, self-care is just not just sitting in the guilt, just say, okay, I'll figure it out what it is. I don't want to feel guilty. Let's just figure out what I need to do. So that in itself, it's a routine of going and either talking to friends. I mean, all of us here, we are all coaches and facilitators in some shape or form. Mm-hmm. So I feel so blessed that I can call David, or I can call any of you and say, listen, I need some help. Yep. And I know that somebody's going to help you. So that's a routine that when the challenges happen, I just don't sit in it. I reach out. I reach out to my coaches. I reach out to friends that are coaches, and to get a different perspective. And then eventually the penny drops and you go, oh, that's why you don't do it. So I think it's so important not to always be on your own and think that you have to do it all on your own.
Totally.
Here is a team. There's like 6 of us here on Zoom, and I don't know how many people are listening, but this is a team. You don't necessarily have to work together or be a family to still consider it a community or a team that you can rely on for different things.
Yeah, beautiful. That's beautiful. So, again, so much of what you just said, and, you guys would remember scotoma, and, I know Lucia and I have focused on blind spots, so scotoma is the scientific word, blind spots is the human word, So what I've discovered by continuing my personal development is that, now this will seem logical to some, however, it wasn't to me, but I discovered that there is massive massive observation and transformation available to me when I look in my blind spots. And by their very nature, it's impossible for me to look in my blind spots. That's why they're called blind spots. And so it's necessary to have someone facilitate that for me. And so, you know, if we want to talk about the value of a coach, a confidant, someone that's going to hold us to account, not just piss in our pocket, to quote the Australian phrase, you know, then like that is the be all and end all of transforming the way we behave, the way we are in our lives. Totally. Love it. Thank you again, Annie. So, you know, I'm really close to out of time. So, I wouldn't say this is a conversation that's ended, but let's maybe take it up another time. For now, I feel like we've explored it well. And there's one more thing I wanted to add, and all of you will either be aware of Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, or Tony Robbins has created his own, and there's others who create their own hierarchies. But Maslow was the first one to kind of publicly talk about it. So guess which one the first one is? Certainty. So the first human need is the need for certainty. It's our need to feel in control and to know what's coming next so we can feel secure. It's the need for basic comfort, the need to avoid pain and stress, and also to create pleasure. Our need for certainty is a survival mechanism. And I'm going to ask that question, what is the simplest way for us to have certainty in our lives?
Routine. Ask your wife.
Routine. Routine.
Create it. Yeah.
Create it through routine. That's it.
Can I just share with you that Maslow's hierarchy of needs has changed in 2020? Have you heard about this? It's the new 2020 updated figure.
Thanks for that.
I just had it in my presentation the other day.
That's a beautiful way to finish the informal formal presentation. I love it.
It's the basic need for everyone.
And I was just about to go into, how come I didn't hear about that? Like, where we, like, and then, how funny is that? Oh, God.
Awesome. It is awesome.
Thank you, Alister.
My pleasure. And
very timely, the discussion for tonight. And
look, this was prompted, David, by the very nature of what was going on. So up until a few months ago, I still had that prison cell view of routine. And for me, I was looking at the situation we're going into, and you know, I don't remember the exact process, but I was really drawn into, okay, oh, that's right, I do remember. I was helping a teenage boy who's suddenly at home, you know, he prefers computer games and etc. He's suddenly at home having to study at home, and, you know, his whole life is perfect for him, but it's not going to facilitate him learning or staying fit and healthy and so on. And so we worked and created a routine for him that for every day. So he got his study, his nutrition, his exercise, his joy, his everything in every day. And he was excited by it. And it was quite a great process to be involved in. And I then realized I'm a 49-year-old male helping a 14-year-old boy with a routine, and I don't really have one. So, and there's an awesome little story about Gandhi. I don't know if you've heard it. I don't know if it's true about Gandhi, but a woman brought her son to Gandhi and said, you know, Gandhi, I need help with my son. He will not stop eating sweet biscuits. And I don't know what to do. And Gandhi said, okay, look, come back in 2 weeks and I'll give you the answer. So she comes back in 2 weeks and she said, oh, Gandhi, do you have an answer for me? He said, yes, I do. And she said, why couldn't you give it to me 2 weeks ago? And he said, first, I had to give up eating sweet biscuits. Now, that's a paraphrasing of the story, but I thought, powerful story, right?
He had to be able to give up. He couldn't give somebody else the advice without having had done it himself.
Yeah.
Very powerful story.
That's it. So a 14-year-old sort of kicked my butt with that. And I realized as a coach, you know, it's not necessary, right? I don't go out there saying to people, I'm like this guru that you've got to follow. I don't go out saying that, so I don't have to be that. However, it supports me to perform higher, to perform better, whatever words you choose, which then supports others to do the same. So, you know, for me, it's instead of being this evil thing now, it's like, okay, how can I adopt this and how can I benefit from it and how can that then ripple out to others?
And I've got to say, Alister, since I filmed your 12 videos and I've edited them, so I have listened to them time and time and time again now. And I said to you in our coaching call, we need to talk about my routine because it sucks. Well, it's non-existent. And I've realized how important it is for me in my business and life, and just the things that I've just started doing to create a routine. And it's just, even like you've said, even if you just change one little thing a week, that starts to become more of a routine. Though I was going to ask you though, I know we're out of time, but what's the difference between a routine and a habit? Like, do you think that routines can become a habit, or?
Okay, I'll answer that. I'll go back to what I said earlier. Now I'm going to ask everyone then, we are over the official time. Let's wrap it up by 9. Yeah.
6
And
minutes.
so if there's anything else to sort of discuss or answer, we can do that in the Facebook group, or you can call me. I think all of you know how to call me. You're welcome to. And Annie, I owe you a phone call about some business stuff. So let's speak tomorrow. I'll take more tomorrow.
I just had my phone here and I made a note to call you.
There you go.
And I'm going, are you a mind reader? Thank you,
I told
David.
you you're a mind reader.
Only when I'm connected.
Thank you. I look forward to the Al.
You got 5 minutes left now.
I get it. So Jerry, what I said earlier was habits are something that we automatically do. Yeah. And of course, most of those, we're not born with most of those habits. That we're not born with many habits. So the irony is that we well, I don't know about you. Again, like you, Annie, I'm going to say I got very wrapped up in, they're habits and they're hard to break. And I got sort of stuck in that routine, or that sub-routine. And it's like, well, all they were was something that I started doing and then repeated doing until it was autopilot, till it was unconscious competence. Yeah. So when we look at routine, we can do exactly the same thing, but now consciously. Yeah. So we look at what's the outcome we want. We develop a plan to achieve that outcome, right? Conscious plan, conscious results, conscious plan. And then we take action and we review the results and we tweak and we repeat. And so a great one for me, and this underpins my life. I'm a bit like Annie in this, like I'm committed to 8,000 steps or more a day. And that in itself doesn't achieve a lot, but the way I do it is I get outside. I get to see the ocean almost every day. Certainly when I'm at home, I see it every day. I do get to see other people. I get to see their pets. I get to see the ships. I get to see everything that's going on in this neighborhood. I get, the closest thing I'm ever going to get to fresh air. I get to enjoy incredible fogs that we had last week. So there's just a lot of other experiences that I get from just being committed to those 8,000 steps a day. And absolutely for someone, who's well and truly into middle age, it's like, if I didn't do something like that, I'd be at my computer for an extra hour and just be a complete slob. So that was sort of step one. And then, I started to add to that. So I started to add in little sprints, just to elevate the heart rate. They call it interval training. Mine are mostly walking intervals, a little bit of sprinting, or I do stair climb. My building's 10 stories. I'm on the second floor. So I go to the top and come down. So just these little additions. And I actually saw an exercise physiologist last week and we talked about all the things I'm doing, and she's really happy with that side of it. And she's just added some resistance work, because I now know that resistance is a really resistance training as a routine is a really powerful way of improving metabolism, not to mention obviously body conditioning and that sort of thing. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you. Long-winded. Apologies for that.
No, that's good. I was just going to share my screen just so if anyone is interested, Alister's videos are up on YouTube. There's 12 of them and they're only a couple of minutes each, and but he just really breaks it down on to the different types of routines and everything, like talk routine in relationships, routine for all sorts of things, measuring your routine, all that stuff. So if you go to bit.ly/Alister YouTube, you'll find his YouTube channel. So
thanks, Jerry.
yeah, that was it.
Actually, I appreciate you training relationships. So are there any other questions before I just quickly finish on that one?
No.
Okay. So for me, I was in a relationship for 25 years. As a result of the personal training I did where I met half of the guys on this call, I just became aware. So one of the blind spots I saw was that if you looked at the definition of a husband, I was pretty crap. And now that's not a judgment per se of myself. It's just, again, the definition of husband, I wasn't doing it. I wasn't being that. And I had signed a contract accepting that I was going to be one. And, when I saw that, I thought, okay, well, I'm committed to this relationship. So what does that mean? So I started to program in things like dates and other things to enhance a relationship. And now it didn't work out. And, the response I got then was kind of like, my partner was being treated like my business, or, what I wasn't doing then was really listening to people. So I didn't really get the response. But I still look at that and for me, I think to myself, I'd rather have a routine around my life partner. I'd rather have a routine about the people that matter to me than not do nothing at all. So David's just joined us from China. He's got an hour out. Hi, Dave. We're about to finish.
Sorry about that. Did I get the times all wrong? Sorry,
Yeah,
I thought it was 9 o'clock your time.
That's right. So
Sorry.
that's okay, mate. So have a look next week. Don't know. So sorry, we're at the time we're finishing. We really are. Did I finish saying enough about the relationship? So for me, like my son, he's in Queensland. It's in my calendar every week. Call him on Thursday night because we used to have dinner on a Thursday night. So I call him every Thursday night, And then I had call my son and daughter on Friday night because I used to have dinner with both of them on Friday night. So we FaceTime that. I get to watch my son and my daughter interacting as young adults. It's really cool. If I didn't program those in, I wouldn't do them. And I'd be missing out on so much just in those two things. So to me, routine, much better than leaving it all to chance.
Yeah. Fabulous.
I agree, Alister.
But look, thanks all for tuning in. And Will, I'm sorry you missed it, mate.
We've got a recording, David. You can watch it on the recording.
For those
I'll do that for sure.
For those that want to drop off. I'll just quickly introduce Will because do we have a speaker for next week, Jerry?
I was going to do one if there was no one else. So,
well, why don't you? And Will, one of our, we don't have many sort of agreements, but one of them is join a call, check it all out, and then present if you want to. So Will,
Okay.
He will describe himself better. However, my perspective is his foundation is aromatherapy massage. However, I would say he's into that holistic kind of healing side of things. He is an Aussie. I went to high school with him. We've been connected since about 15, 14. He lived in the UK for a while. He's now in China following this stuff. So this guy would have some cool stories to tell too in a few weeks if we can get him on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think it would be great, especially now, because I think it'd be good for us to know how to, I don't know, just get more centered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got to come away with Bridgie and me again, Annie.
Sorry?
You have to come away with Bridgie and I again. You'll be fine.
Oh, I'll come straight in the morning and I'm just going to vegetate. Do nothing. I'm getting really good at it. I took the whole week last week off, and every time I thought about business, I said no.
Beautiful.
And it was quite different.
Okay, very good. Can I just say something? Alister, I'm very grateful for your call tonight. I think that there's some really great points that have got me thinking, and we'll have a chat about it more during the week. I think it'll be
absolutely.
I'd love to do that.
Right.
And everyone, I must run. It's been absolutely joyous to meet you, David. Hello. Good to meet a fellow David.
Hi.
How you
Nice to
doing,
meet you.
Jimmy?
Sorry about my terrible punctuality there. I honestly thought it was this time.
What is this time? It's just another time in another state, in another space.
That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, true.
We'll see you next week at an hour earlier and you presenting. How about that?
I won't forget that. That's for sure now. 6 o'clock my time. Yeah.
You guys.
Thank you, Alistair. Bye, David.
Thanks, Al.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. This was
Bye,
really,
Jerry.
really cool.
Oh,
Thank
great.
you so
Great.
much.
Thank you. And look, thanks all for attending. Thanks for letting me go over time. I appreciate that. And final thing is we started a conversation on Facebook last week. I haven't checked in on it, Jerry. Did we get much? That was about Luke doing a series.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
His presentation on online marketing was really cool. I don't know where you're at with all that, but he just filled the space with a whole lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
I voted, so
Right.
you know.
Yeah. I think we should develop that a little bit more.
Okay.
I've been talking to people about Google My Business all week. It's ramped me up. So
So, Will, if you have an interest in looking at online marketing, try and find the video of Luke last week.
Sure.
And we're talking about him doing a series of training because he knows so much about this stuff. So, Lucia, what were you saying there?
Is the recording, because I've missed a few weeks, is that recording up? Yeah? Okay, I'll have a look at that.
It
Right.
was great.
Yeah.
As was David's.
um,
The Ho'oponopono, that was just
Yeah.
they're all up on. I've just changed the link. bit.ly/all-for-one YouTube is where all our stuff is up. It's pretty up to date with what's up there. But you can also find always our live calls have been shared into the Facebook group as well. So you can always find them, find the past episodes there, and on our Facebook page, All for One Australia. We always go live to the page as well. So you can pretty much find us anywhere. So
All right, cool. I'll track you down.
Thank you all. I really enjoyed the conversation. I love this way of communicating and you know I haven't. I'm no guru in this. I haven't done a lot of preparation. I did enough to facilitate a conversation, but I got so much out of it. So thank you all.
this was
Yeah.
good.
Thanks again, Al. And next week, unless someone else jumps forward, I'll just be talking about the new world order of marketing and how times are changing now that
I
we're
would love that.
2020. Yeah.
Jerry, next week, we'll pencil you in for 2 weeks, mate. Join us next week, and then you're on.
All right, deal. I won't forget. My apologies, Al, to you and to everyone. There was no excuse. I just thought, right now to log in 7 o'clock.
Geez, apartments
Sorry.
are getting smaller and smaller in China, aren't they? Is that the world's most narrow apartment?
This one's all right, actually.
Is
Maybe
that
I'm just used to it because
a balcony?
this is the balcony.
Yeah.
But maybe because I've come from living in the UK that everything's small everywhere now. I do forget that when I go back home to my mum's in Australia, how sizes are totally different. But that's the length of it.
Am I remembering correctly? Did you tell me last week that Australia's population is smaller than Beijing's population?
It's smaller than Shanghai's, yeah.
Shanghai.
Yeah, you could fit all of Australia in this one city and still have, I think, about 1 million.
That is insane.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I love Shanghai. It's a beautiful city. It's beautiful.
I'm still getting to know my way around it because when I first moved here, I was in the coronavirus literally broke out after 3 weeks of me being here, so didn't really get to see much. So now I'm playing catch up, getting out and about. But
Nice to meet you, David. I'll see you. I'm going to head off.
nice to meet you.
Really
Okay, see you.
Bye.
Good
You
night.
should
Bye-bye.
see the French Quarters. The French
Yeah,
Quarters
funny.
divine. And
I
down
was there on the
park,
weekend actually.
it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Is it back to normal over there?
Pretty. Yeah, it's been like this probably since about May now that everything's been the new norm. Is everyone wears masks.
Yeah.
Temperature checks everywhere. You need a health code to go to certain places, although they're not as strict on that now, but you had to have a code to track you, but it's getting less and less required now. So they still have lots of checks. So you go into a department store, you get scanned for heat, and you get your wrist checked, and you have to wear masks on the metro, on the subway, any public transport or else. And everyone does here anyway, so it's part of the culture that people wear masks. So apart from that, there's no sporting events. So there's no basketball or football. And cinemas are reopening next week. They've been shut for 7 months, and they're just opening next week. So Disneyland's open. That's been up for a little bit, but they've got like restricted entrance, 30% capacity, things like that. But nightclubs have been open for about 2 or 3 months. Not that I go to them now, but they've been open for quite a while now.
Wow.
Yeah, you just wouldn't know, apart from the fact you've got to wear a mask everywhere.
So you know that's
coming. A bit sad.
You know that's coming in Melbourne the next 2 days.
Yeah, Mum was saying to me, when I spoke to her earlier, that they're going to enforce mask wearing outdoors.
Oh, I could have taught you all tonight how to make a mask out of a sock because I learnt that today.
I saw that video too.
It was good.
On TikTok, it's very clever.
A Dutch woman, I think. I made like 4 masks today out of socks, and my son's like, "Oh, thanks for the dirty old sock."
I've seen some guys making them out of underwear.
Yeah. My husband did demonstrate the underwear thing.
Okay. See the nappy one? Did you see the nappy one?
No,
I haven't seen the nappy one.
No, but I saw a guy with a bra on his face, and it was like, it's 2 for 1 because there's one out the side too.
I was going to say, I would go for hot lingerie. That'd be the only underwear I'd wear on my face.
God, we're still live. All right.
I love it.
Are people watching?
Who knows?
Oh, well. That's right.
Hopefully I'll be like the rock stars. I'll have a lot of lingerie thrown at me tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. On that note, Annie, look forward to speaking tomorrow. I'm sure if we were both on the same page, we'll make it work tomorrow without even a plan. And Will, I'm up for a call this week again if you want to.
Okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Wednesday if you want, but I'll drop you a message anyway. Will. Sure, but my apologies again.
It's all good, mate. All good. So thanks for joining.